Hi, good day everyone. This is the part 15 of the Dart series, Dart language from scratch for beginners that we're actually learning. Yeah, this is the continuation of the extended or deeper learning about string that we're actually learning. In this video, we'll be learning about string interpolation, and as I've said in my previous video, which is I think that's part 14, I made mention that some of the things we are learning in a deeper form now, we've already practicalized it in some of our video, but because we didn't really explain in deep, that's why we are doing this video so that you can get to understand them better. Without wasting much of our time, actually, we're going to move to start writing the code. All right, okay, let's create a new file for this. Also, we call it a string underscore interpolation dot. All right, we have void definitely, we have main function. All right, and okay, now how do we go about it? We want to interpolate. What is even string interpolation actually? String interpolation is you are trying to concatenate you're trying to concatenate one or two or more string together. Concatenation means you're trying to add, you're trying to join. Yeah, let me use that English. You're trying to join two or more strings together. But at the point of, or at how you're trying to join it, you are not using the concatenation operator. I don't know if I've made mention of that for you before. There's concatenation operator. Let's quickly do that here. Let's say print. We can do print. Yes, I think we've mentioned it one of the video before. Print my name is Jack. Then you can put command and do plus I am 20 years old. All right, this is what we call concatenation. You can see the plus sign is the concatenation here, but although it's giving us some warning, and the warning is string literal shouldn't be concatenated here because they are just string to string. Why are you concatenating them when they can actually be together? But this is concatenation. Then now you can see that we're joining two string together actually, but we now says string interpolation. Let's say for example we have my name. Yeah, let's remove this guy. Let's do another print. We have print my name is, and we can actually interpolate Jack in the instance whereby we have a string variable and we store Jack inside it. Yes, you can have something like this actually being in a variable, then you want to concatenate it together with another string, but it's not in a variable, or it might actually be in a variable, either of the two. But for example, in this instance, my name is not in a variable, is a print, is inside print directly. But now instead of doing concatenation here like this, name, this will actually work. But you can see the warning. We can print and see. We can do that run what? Run bin slash string interpolation dot dat. All right, you can see it prints, no error, but there is warning, like something suggestion, not really warning, suggestion of doing it the right way. This is concatenation. But now if you want to interpolate, you can now do print. It's still the same thing. I can copy and paste without wasting time, but now we are not using plus. We want to have that name inside here, that name variable. Now you have to do name. This is what we called interpolation. You can see that it is one string, just a open and a close quote. Now we want to have Jack inside it. If you see let's print this now. you can see that we have the same thing. This is the best way to do it, though that is actually being improved and other language were being improved. You know, technology is moving very fast, whereby when you write code these days and there is better way to write it, it will suggest for you to do it in a better way. I think that was implemented in Java in 2020 also. We start having something like that in the NetBeans, whereby it will tell you, why don't you do it this way? Why don't you write it this way? It's much more professional this way. Yeah, that is it. Instead of doing it this way, then string interpolation is much better. Do you get? In the case whereby we can say my age, we can say age. We can say age. Age is integer definitely. We can say int age equals to 20, and I can say print my age is plus age. But you will notice that we start having error here. The reason is this is an integer. We cannot concatenate integer and string together. I don't know if you are if you are understanding me. You cannot calculate the both together. You cannot add, you cannot join the both together. You have to convert this. We've done casting before. You have to convert this to what? To string. You can see with this now, you can see that we didn't have the error again. We only have a suggestion, and actually we can just clear the terminal and run again, and you can see that my age is 20. But to follow the suggestion, we've already followed this guy. You can see we don't need this again. We already have string interpolation here now. We can remove this, and here now we can actually remove this also and put it inside. But when you put it inside, you see that it turns everything to the same green color, which means if you print it now, if you print this now, run it, you notice that it's bring my age is age dot to string instead of printing the age out for us. Is because it is not yet interpolated. This is not like string to string. This is now like string integer to string. I don't know if you are getting this. In this case, you can see that we have string. My name is a string. Jack is a string. Yeah, it's easy, straightforward. Just put your variable, your variable inside this by attaching $sign to it, and that is it. The language is able to identify that you are doing string interpolation here. You get, and that's it. And here now, if you add dollar to this, you can see it's painted, but still we are not having the right thing. But let's remove this also. Let's remove it, yeah, because we've already have it here. We've done the right thing. We are actually turning it to the right thing. The wrong thing is what we did before. Not actually totally wrong, but not really professional. That is what is it. Now we are now doing it in a professional way. Let's print this before we remove that. Let's run and see. You can see we now have my age is 20. Is able to detect the what do we call it? The age. We're able to interpolate the age into this, whereby turning it to a string here is no more necessary. You can see that's the advantage of not using concatenation and using interpolation. We can remove this now, but there will be in some cases, yes, there will be in some cases whereby, let's say another int 5 years to date is equal to 5. We want to know how many years this Jack that is 20 is 20 years old this year. We want to know how many years old is going to be in the next 5 years. Yeah, it's easy. We are going to know that 25, right? It's very simple to calculate with our brain. But here now we want computer to actually do it for us, because in a case whereby it's not something we can calculate, we are not the software, we are the software engineer. We are building software that can solve people problems. Someone want to calculate the age with computer, with calculator or anything, because calculator is part of what software engineers also build, either in desktop form or mobile or web, in any kind of form. It's still the same programmer like us that does all those kind of things. That's what we're actually learning here. All right, now we want to know how many years this guy is going to be in the next 5 years. Let's say, for example, let's change this guy to 18. Yeah, this is not easy to calculate. Now we are going to, it's going to take us 3 seconds to calculate, although it's still straightforward. This is going to give us 13, but that's not the case. Now, years to come, we can have something like print Ade, print Jack years to come. And we want to do interpolation. Definitely we have our $sign and we have age. Then we want to plus, right? We want to plus it because that's just plusing the 5 years to 18 plus the 5 years. That's another interpolation, 5 years to come. But you discover that we will not get the output we're actually looking for. Let me terminate it. Semicolon is what I'm calling termination. Actually, terminate the statement. This is a line statement. All right, let's clear the terminal and run. But you notice that we didn't get, you can see, we didn't get the right answer. We are not trying to print 18 plus 5, which is the years to come, but we are trying to sum up. We are trying to sum 18 plus 5. All right, if you have this kind of thing to interpolate also, all what you just need to do is to put it in curly bracket or brace, anyone is fine. All right, let's print it, although there's still one more thing that is left here, but let's print it. But you see that we still didn't get the right thing. You can now see that it's now printing the curly brace for us instead of summing it together. Then the last thing we just need to add is to put the $sign outside again. Yeah, and this time around is going to definitely now sum it up for us. But what is there now is, you can see that we have an error. When we have this kind of string interpolation, you cannot be doing $sign outside, $sign inside, because this is inside the curly brace. We are still putting $sign inside the curly brace. It doesn't really make sense in the normal level. Normal human being understanding actually having $sign to achieve interpolation, because people that actually design programming, like, they are very smart. They are very smart people actually, and that's why they now remove, because now you are talking to the whole things inside here. That means everything inside there is now variable. You don't need to attach $sign to each and every variable inside it. Moving it outside, and now you can see that we don't have any error. And if we run this now, definitely we should have the correct answer. Now Jake years to come is 23 years old. We can have had years old here, definitely, just to be easy, much flexible to pronounce or call out. All right, that is it. You can see now we have this. We pick it from concatenating using plus. Now we gradually move it to using the interpolation. All right, that is how interpolation actually works. Let me see if there are something other things to add up here. Okay, yeah, you might want to turn Jack to uppercase. You can print Jack into, we have Jack, which is the name dot to, you can see, to upper. It's not even suggesting anything for us. You can see that shows you that you are not doing the right thing. Then in this case, you need to add curly brace. That's number one. Now we're having something going on inside this guy. Then what else we need to do? We need to move the dollar sign outside, and you can see, beautiful, this is actually giving us what we want. Now if you run this, though there's suggestion there, we are still going to go back there. Let's run. You can see that the jack is now in capital letter ultra. This is a function in string whereby it turns string from lowercase to uppercase. We have dot lowercase also. Let's hover on this and see. It says unnecessary use of string interpolation. Definitely we might not use string interpolation here, but because we are learning string interpolation, we can now say jack name to uppercase. You can say name. Yes, let's just do name to upper. Name to upper. You can see now the warning is gone. The reason why it's saying that there's no need is because we don't have some string inside it. Just having that ordinarily, yeah, doesn't really make sense. What is trying to tell us this? Let's just copy and comment and repaste and remove everything else so that we can see what is actually trying to say. What it's saying is we should remove this from there. We can remove this from here, and definitely we're going to achieve whatever we want to achieve without interpolation. All right, that is it. Jack, we still have the jack, but there's not, we are not interpolating, we're just doing the function, normal function, anyhow we actually want to do it. This is absolutely fine, depends on whatever we want to achieve. All right, let's check for something like maybe to string fix, to whatever, like I don't know, let's say this man actually buy something, let's say balance. Yeah, let's say we have double, right? We have double balance, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's part of our, we have let's say the balance of this jack is, let's say 1.2 million, right? Yeah, it's fine. $1.2 million. That is 1 2 2 2. Yeah, okay. And we want to do double, right? And you do 87. All right, that's it. All right, now we can print this, but we are not going to print directly, definitely, and we can just do print. So we're going to do interpolation again. We are doing print balance. We can do balance, yeah, and we can do interpolation, definitely, but now we can print directly and say balance. There's no issue actually, but you can see we are able to print is balance. Sorry, I don't like the way it looks. Okay, good. All right, we can format the string, but I think that's going to be something we do later. But we actually want to do something. Okay, we can do something like to string as fixed 2. Yeah, let's see. You can see the same thing we talked about the other time. They just put it inside the, sorry, where we have it inside curly brace, and now once it's inside curly brace, we move the dollar sign outside, and you can see all is good. And we can print, we can run it one more time. You can see we still have the same thing, but how you will be able to know that we are having the same thing is this can be inside the code or on the DB, but when we want to print it to user, I want to show the user, I want to show it in a reasonable and meaningful way, then what we just need to do, oh my goodness, the time is not on our side any longer. You can see it automatically round it up into 2 decimal place. That's what string to fix is actually all about. All right, what else do we want to learn on this video? I think not to waste much of our time on this, probably we're going to come back on another video and talk more on string. We have so many functions with string. All right, now thank you for watching. Do well to subscribe, comment if you have any question, and do it to share also to your friends and family who actually want to know how we can build mobile application. They can build mobile application for their personal business also, anything. And the person who actually want to use it as a career actually can also learn from this video. Thank you and God bless.